Hello students. Today our topic is a story by Leo Tolstoy. How much land does a man need? Leo Tolstoy was a Russian novelist and story writer. The story entitled How Much Land Does a Man Need is a story in the moral fable tradition. The theme of human greed and temptation is very conventional, but it is treated by Tolstoy with artistic restraint, freshness of approach, and subtle irony. In spite of carrying an ethical message, the narrative is extremely effective. Tolstoy's short stories are full of his religious fervor and represent the union of great moral conviction and minute psychological analysis. In the story, Leo Tolstoy shows us human weaknesses such as greed and other weaknesses. The major character of the story, Faham, is greedy and he dies in the last of the story because of his greed. He needs more and more land and aspires for more and more. And this weakness became the cause of his death. His inherent weakness was his discontent with his present life. His greed for land had no limit. He ever wanted to have more and more land. He was a peasant leading a contented life. But his whole outlook was changed when he overheard the words of his sisters in laws talking to his wife. From a peasant, he wanted to become a landowner. Even when he had become a landowner, he was not satisfied. So, this dissatisfaction of the major character became the cause of his death in the end. He wanted to acquire more land. Having acquired more communal land, he now wished to acquire freehold land. Having heard that freehold land could be obtained at cheap price from someone, he travelled a long way off and entered into a bargain with someone. He was offered the land for 1000 rubles, as much as he could go round on his feet in one day. In his anxiety to acquire the maximum area of land, Faham made a longer circuit than he should have done. In his greed, he forgot that his physical capacity was limited. He overstrained himself, and when he arrived back at the starting point, he dropped down dead. So, in the story, there is a moral. According to the writer, greed is the worst of man's enemies. It leads to discontentment, which makes us even worried and takes away our peace of mind. It makes us uneasy. It takes away the peace of mind. A greedy man is ever an unhappy man. He can't be happy. To have ambition is good, but it is the basis of our progress and growth. But greed makes us mean. Greed makes a man mean. Ambition takes men active and look forward to be a brighter future. It makes men do great deeds. But when ambition leads men to become greedy, have greed, the aspect of man's character vanishes and man becomes mean and low. This ultimately leads men to do wrong things. These in turn cause man's fall. A greedy man attains nothing that can be achievable, that can be said great. An ambitious man may become great if he has the ability and will to fulfill his ambitions. The great poet Milton was ambitious. He became a great poet. But to have greed is a demerit and it should be avoided. This story has been rightly called a parable. A parable is a story which conveys a moral lesson and has a spiritual significance. In this story, the author has condemned attachment to property. There should be no attachment to property. There should be no aspiration more and more. What is the use of struggling and striving to acquire more and more land when all that a man needs is land enough to be buried in? We need only 6 feet of land to be buried. This is the central idea of this classic story. So long as Farm was a peasant, the main character, Farm was a peasant, he led a contented life. He was happy with his life. The moral comes out only in the closing sentence of the story, when the author says, 6 feet from his head to his heels was all he needed. He needed only 6 feet of land after death. But this moral has been conveyed to us in a very skillful manner, in a very artistic manner, and thus the story conveys a very beautiful message. Greed is not good for human beings. Thank you.